Founder Jam 14. Here we are, and we are a couple months into Founder Jam. It's hard to believe we have made it this far. We are into June as well. The summer has started. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are excited about summer, I am right with you. Hopefully we get things opening up here, continued in the United States and across the world. It should be a great opportunity to have some more community than we've had in quite a long time. Although running businesses online has been pretty exciting. It's been pretty cool with technology to be able to do stuff like this. And if it wasn't for this crazy time, then I think Founder Jam may not even exist. So I think there's some pretty cool things in store for us this summer, and I am excited to be there. Today's topic on Founder Jam 14 is game-changing habits. Hard to believe that game-changing habits is a topic that we are talking about here, because we didn't even know that Founder Jam would even exist. So let us talk a little bit about some housekeeping stuff. We are talking about getting the Founder Jam Twitter handle rolling. Hopefully we'll have that rolling next week. We have one. We just haven't needed to use it yet. We've been rolling with Joe and I's specific handles, but we're going to roll out the Founder Jam one next week. If you're catching us on Instagram, like some of you always are every week, just a quick reminder, you got to head over to either the YouTube channel or over to LinkedIn, Periscope, or even on Facebook. You can catch us live every Wednesday, 3 p.m. on the East Coast of the U.S., noon on the West Coast. I know we have quite a few West Coasters out there. I'm getting notice right now that the LinkedIn feed might be a little bit choppy. So if you are out there on LinkedIn, we're doing our best for you. It just says we're having a little bit of a problem posting. They will wait 30 seconds to try it again. So hopefully we'll jump on here. As usual, you can see I'm not on my good camera either. There is some technical difficulties with the camera, but we'll catch Joe in here in a little bit when he jumps on. And so our topic today, as I mentioned, is game-changing habits. Now, we're going to touch on a couple other little things that we have before related to business ownership and being an entrepreneur and what it's like to be a founder of your own company. But we wanted to talk specifically about the habits that you have around those different tasks this week. Because what I'm finding is, as a founder of a business, you tend to get distracted, especially in the early stages when there's a lot of new things that you have to learn. So it's vitally important that you develop great habits to be able to handle all of those things. So when things come up, you don't get overstressed. You don't get into that decision fatigue mode where either you make a hasty decision because you just want to get it over with, or you decide to not make one at all and it drags on, and what could be a really small problem explodes into something bigger. And if you've listened to previous episodes, I'm sure you've heard us have conversations about decision fatigue before. It's such an important thing to control decision fatigue in the position that we're in as founders. And I know there's a lot of you out there who are in the early stages of your business. Not that Founder Jam is not for people who are experienced business owners, and I'm sure there's a lot of you out there, but it's definitely going to help those who are in those early stages, because we want to talk about what are those great habits that will help us be successful. And speaking of great habits, here is the man, the myth, and the legend, the habit former himself, Mr. Joseph Nolan of General Marketing. Joe, how are you, man?
What's up, brother? Excited to be here, man. Thanks for coordinating another session, man. It's been a great week. Super excited. I'm not Mr. Habit. You're Mr. Habit. I'm excited to learn from you today, and I know everyone else is, man.
Right.
I'm learning. We are all learning from Bob DePasquale today, because this man is the king of habits. So
some of them bad.
Everyone's like, is he OCD? No. These are good habits. These are positive habits, and I'm pumped because this week is Bobby's wheelhouse. He's a pro at this. He talks to so many people about this, coaches others. So we're in for a real treat this week.
Awesome. We're excited to do that. We got plenty of people piling in, watching, checking things out already, which is pretty cool. Joe, man. So let me just give a quick shout out to my man, Joe. So you're not using that new mic yet, are you?
Oh man, I am. Is it working though or not?
No, it sounded good actually. I thought it was like, I was like, wow. So Joe found
we got it right here. Yeah, we got it right here going on.
There
Yeah.
it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So just, we like to add value at Founder Jam. So we're having a good experience with these mics so far. So Joe, maybe tell them quickly, what was the name of the company that provided that mic there? What is it?
Yeah. Hey, we found this online. We're not partnered with them or anything. Full disclosure, that's called Smart Mic. I found them through Instagram ads trying to build out my home office. So some great work on their part a couple months ago. It's made by, I think, a pretty popular brand. They have tons of reviews on Amazon, other channels. I think I got mine through Amazon, but check out their website. They have actually, like you and I were talking about, they have a bunch of different combinations and different mics that you can try out. But I know a bunch of influencers use this mic. This is their basic model. And yeah, we've been demoing it. I've had a lot of success. Clients say it sounds totally different on the Zoom calls and Blue Jeans. So so far it's been about a couple days, but so far recommend it. Pretty good battery life. So yeah, Smart Mic Plus, check it out.
Smart Mic Plus, and it hooked up really quick. That was the key thing for me. You just turn the stinking thing on, you pair it, and it's ready to go.
Yeah. I tell you download the app. I didn't read the directions. So for everybody out there who also doesn't like to read the directions, just download the app, update the software, and then it connects everything right away. So that's the key. Just quick download the app, update. It updates the mic automatically. You're good to go. And I've been really impressed so far.
Cool. Well, hopefully mine will work out well too.
Yeah.
For my videos that I throw out there Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's good. I need to have better sound. And as you can see, I am going to do this live on the air just because I'm so determined to get this thing to work. I'm going to switch to my other camera just to see if it works, because of course it was getting choppy again earlier. And all right, not looking too bad. So
that's HD, man. What is that, 4K? That looks amazing.
Yeah, listen,
wow.
This is why I want to use this camera, because if I don't say anything stupid, at least I'll look good.
Everyone out there watching, Bobby just threw me under the camera bus here. I'm going to have to upgrade,
What I need, though, is what we desperately need. Okay, so Founder Jam is all about collaboration. We desperately need someone who can hook us up with, maybe not the actual machine, but some advice on how to get this camera to not get choppy on me. I've upgraded the internet. I've hardwired it. I've shut down everything on my computer. I got a new computer. I had not figured out why the video.
That's excellent, man. Excellent. Good for you.
So anyway, let's get started on game-changing habits, because I'm actually really excited for this one, as you can tell.
Look, man, healthy habits. I've got my beet juice. I have my shot of espresso. I'm ready to go, man. Healthy habits.
That's beet juice?
Beet juice, man. Beet juice is big time. Oxygen.
Yeah, it's good for.
Yeah, it's good
for endurance athletes. They, what's that stuff called? Have you heard of Beet Elite?
I've seen the Instagram ads for those as well. Yeah, I've seen those as well.
Maybe we can get a sponsor, Beet Elite, for us hardworking, calorie-burning entrepreneurs in the chair for an hour. I don't think Beet Elite's our market.
Could be. We can put in some extra time at the desk.
Maybe we can get a representative from Beet Elite to come on the show. That would be kind of cool.
We'll tweet them out after this and see if they respond.
All right. All right, let's do these questions, man. I'm pumped.
All right, man. Question number 1 is live on Twitter, man. Give it a go. Tee it up.
All right. What is the first business task you complete every day? Ooh, that's a tough one.
Do we think that this is going to be the same? Is there a chance that this is the same for everybody? Just check email. I just wake up and I check my email. But what's interesting, man, is going back to communications. I check email, say, oh, did like a hot issue come through? But we have those communication protocols where they hit me up on WhatsApp, WeChat, text, or phone call, instead of an email, if there was something urgent. But mine is laying in bed, check the email.
All right. So I'm going to take us back to next week briefly. Last week.
Don't worry, that's the camera's fault. Bobby can time travel forward and back.
That new microphone is great. It does not do time travel. So here we go. Remember what I said about receptionists last week and offices?
Yes. Huge fan.
Yeah. I would say email is almost as bad as receptionist for me. So
okay. The pressing question, we all like, when do you work? How do you work then? If there's no email, no office, no receptions, you must have crazy passive income coming in. That's amazing.
I just smile on camera. Okay. The office is absolutely not needed. Without the office, the receptionist is not needed. Email is more of a necessary evil. So
fair enough. Okay.
So I do check my email, but this is a dead serious, honest habit game changer for entrepreneurs. If you ask me, it changed the way I work. To be quite honest with you, I only check emails during specific periods of time during the day.
Oh, interesting. Oh, wow. Very interesting. I've heard about this. I've not tried it, but I have heard about it.
Yes. This is imperative to me getting through the day without getting distracted. I do not check emails first thing in the morning. And I don't check emails first thing in the work morning either, because the first thing I do is I get up and we work out. But I don't check emails first thing either, because I know that those things are going to distract me. And I always have things scheduled. So it's not like I'm just twiddling my thumbs for an hour. I'm actually working. I'm just not checking emails.
That's fascinating, man. That's very fascinating.
Yeah, because I know the emails that come are, there's never, if it's going to be that urgent, then Stacy or someone's going to call me, I'll know. Usually it's deleting a lot of junk and then also following up on a couple things that aren't extremely urgent. So I block that time off in the middle of the day. And then at the end of the day, I try to turn my business mind off with a clean inbox. So I make sure that at the end of the day, I clear everything out, and it seems to help.
Now, I don't mean to derail us again, but are you inbox zero? Are you an inbox zero person?
No, I'm not an inbox zero. But what I use the inbox in is like a working file. So everything that's been
this is pro tips, guy. I'm so jazzed. Bobby is just dropping productivity, mental well-being tips right now. We're on question 1.
Yeah, we're still on question 1. I got a lot to go. I got a lot to do.
Holy cow, man. Holy cow.
Grab your pen and paper. So your inbox is your working file. There's 3 reasons for this. Number 1, you don't want a cluttered inbox where it's annoying and overwhelming, and it's such a mental drag, in my mind, to open up an email box. When I was at my previous role, at one point I had like hundreds of emails in my inbox, and it was so overwhelming. I used to hate opening my email. So that's one reason why I hate email. Number 1 is just to declutter. Number 2 is so that other things are categorized. So when I finish something or I get a message I know that's not needed till later, that's calendared, something that I'm not going to forget about, it goes into the proper email file. And it's very easy. You just slide it over. Some of them are actually automated as well. I know that if I get an email from Joe, I know it automatically pops up in Joe's file. It doesn't even go to my inbox. Number 3 is absolutely, in my opinion, the most important part of it is if you use it as a working file, you know that if something is in your inbox, that is urgent and has to get done, or you cannot forget about it. So at any given time, I probably have 5 to 10 things that are still in my inbox, so that when I do open it, it's a good reminder that I have to get it done. And if I know that I can't get it done until the next day, then I just leave it in my inbox. But I try to keep the inbox. I don't like having to scroll. You don't want to scroll. If you have to scroll on your inbox, you're overwhelmed.
Wow. Listen, man, this is fascinating and really helpful. I'm going to have to book some time with you to help with my inbox. So you mentioned you guys you're on G Suite, right? G Suite for Business. And so you're using different labels, different automated rules. Maybe just talk about that for 30 more seconds, because I use the labels as well, but you're kind of taking it one step further. It sounds like for using kind of this working file structure where you can go to your different clients or stakeholders and have everything that's for those client stakeholders right in one spot. versus scrolling through the top. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely. And I could talk about this for probably another hour, forget 30 seconds, but yes, I have there's a file for each family that we work with, each partner that we work with. There's also a file for each stakeholder or each other organization that's a third party or subcontractor or other or software as a service program that we have. They each have their own file. So if there's a complaint or I had to open a ticket at my web developer, it's all in that file. It's super easy to find. And then here's another key one. I have a folder, and I have this in my personal email. I have this in my Initiate Impact work email. And I also have one in my Bob DiPasquale personal branding email. I have a solicitor's file. And most of the time they're going to junk mail or they're getting flagged as spam. But sometimes there's someone who's trying to get something from me that I'm like, oh, okay, that could be interesting at some point, but I don't need that right now. Or it's something like I don't have the time for it or the money, whatever it might be. That goes into the solicitor's file, because what I was finding is I was keeping the solicitor's stuff in the inbox or in my working file, and it was clogging things up and getting distracting. So I actually created a separate file for emails that I don't want to delete, but I'm not ready to answer them right now, and I don't actually have a timeline on it. So those kind of go into the solicitor's file. So if I get someone who says, hey, I want to help you with this task at your business, and I'm like, maybe I could use help with that, but not right now, throw it in there. So there you go. That's my tutorial on how to use your inbox as a working file.
Wow. We might have to do another one of these on just the productivity execution, like you're talking about. We've talked some tools, more some comms tools, I think. But this is great, man. Thank you for sharing, diving in on this. This is, I think, especially for everyone working from home now, right? More digital jobs. What you're talking about is, it's been out there a while, but I think it's the art to how you've set it up, which is really valuable.
Well, and the way I look at it is, God bless my mother, who used to be our office manager, really our COO and receptionist, a little bit of everything at our previous role. And I kind of coached her and pushed her into doing all that with all the hard copy files that we had. And over time, she shredded everything. We got it all into the computer. But there was a period of time where I was an unorganized disaster early in my career, and there was just mail and junk everywhere. And I needed to get that done, filed and organized, so I could not walk into a messy office every day. So now it's the same concept. I don't want to walk into a messy computer office. So I like to have it organized.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant, man. Thank you, man. That is rock star.
So wow. Credit to my mom. I'm a mama's boy. We know that. Cool. All right, let's do number 2.
All right, man. Number 2 is live. We have a yes or no coming here. Here we go. All right.
Bam. Yes or no. Do you have a personal wellness routine? Let's hear it, Mr. Nolan.
You know, I should. I think I do. Whether or not we use and do the routine is the key point here. No, I mean, especially, people follow me on Instagram, overcoming some injuries. I think my wellness routine is a lot of physical, or it's more physical oriented, a lot of stretching, small movements, exercise, kind of physical therapy type stuff. Mm-hmm. So I've become more into that over the last couple of years. And there's been a lot of progress in that industry. So if people are watching, DM me, happy to link you to a bunch of different people and resources there. I think the mental wellness is really interesting around meditation, and being able to focus and, stay focused for long periods of time, shift gears as an entrepreneur from one type of task to another. I haven't tried a lot of like the Calm apps, things like that, but I do try to take some time where it's very quiet, 5-10 minutes a day. Really try and, for me, you probably know from when I was playing sports, I was pretty into Zen meditation. So there's a really great book out there for people. Zen and the Art of Archery is a good one to take a look at. Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Building is another one. There's a couple in the area of Zen, but that's kind of helping you relax, free your mind of a lot of thoughts. Essentially get your mind off things. the simplest way to put it.
Books.
So
Books
yeah,
are
read books. Yeah, read. Yeah, my wellness, man, is a lot of physical, and then reading. I would say probably physical and reading.
cool. I think reading is something that's kind of becoming underrated. I know we talk about reading is fundamental, and people are getting so busy, and everything, all the content that people are creating these days is. I mean, if I hear one more person tell me that my blog posts have to have meta tags and headers because people like to scroll and not read the whole post, I mean.
Now here's one on reading. Are you digital only, or do you prefer hard copy as well? Like books,
really
magazines?
I'm really an audio person now, but
interesting. Okay, yeah.
I like listening to books because I am a multitasker, and that's a whole nother conversation we can have. But a good book in your hand is not a bad thing. I think I'd rather read that than scroll a PDF document. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I have the Kindle. I like the Kindle for books on kind of subject matter that I don't know, like you're kind of a deep dive. And to be honest, man, I really like magazines. I like this different stimulus, the visual cues. I feel like there's a lot of work and attention that goes into the production and the writing. So yeah, dude, I dig some of the magazines. That could be because I'm in ads and I like the creative side, and there's pretty pictures all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really get that on the Kindle, but I do like a kind of a combo of the digital and the physical.
I think a good combo is good, and if that helps you relax, however it does, that way you can be productive, you can learn something, but you're also kind of taking a break from the grind aspect of what you do. I think it's so important. And so
I've combined it, Bobby. See, I've combined my wellness routine with a nice glass of wine to help you relax, and then you read Wine Spectator. You see,
nice.
So then you get a combo of the two.
So might you call yourself a connoisseur?
Definitely not. No, definitely not. Yeah, I'm a connoisseur of consumption.
Nice. Welcome to the club.
How about you, man? Your personal, I mean, I'm chatting a long time on this. Your wellness routine is remarkable, so you might have to shorten it for everyone here. But talk about your wellness routine, man.
I will. Quick shout out to Jay, though, on the IG feed, says, sometimes it's difficult to get a hard copy of everything you need to be reading, but combos are good. So, Joe, listen, you got a fan out there.
Thanks, man.
Jay,
Thanks, Jay.
Thanks for the shout out, bro. All right. What's my wellness routine? My wellness routine drastically changed. I actually wrote a blog post about this not too long ago. But my wellness routine drastically changed recently. Well, not so recently now. The pandemic's been going on for over a year. My wellness routine always included eating healthy, especially with my cancer history. So I've always tried to take care of myself and do what the doctors have told me from a nutritional standpoint. And I also always liked exercising since I was an athlete as a younger person. And so those were always part of my routine, but I never really had a true schedule where you definitely have to work out at this time. I was always had a routine of exercises, but not at a specific time. Pandemic comes, my wife, who gets up super early in the morning to get ready for school, would just not have enough time to get to prepare her virtual classroom plus her regular classroom. And she wasn't getting home until super late. And it would be 6, 7, 8 o'clock. And we would go try to work out at that point and then eat dinner after that. It wasn't working. So we started to switch it up. Now we get up early in the morning, and the first thing we do is exercise. And there's all kinds of research and things to talk about why exercising is the most important thing to do, or one of the things that you should do for early in the morning. Now, there's other reasons why it doesn't work for other people. Totally get it. But for us, it's a good stimulation to the brain. It gets the endorphins pumping. It makes you feel like you've accomplished something. I usually have the most energy in the morning. It's just how my body's built. So it really works out well for me. Then eating breakfast a little bit after that seems to be good for my stomach and my stomach issues that I've been having. So first part of wellness routine, wake up in the morning, count my blessings, things I'm grateful for, and then hit a hard workout. relax, stretch out. What I do, believe it or not, is I play the drums. I don't know if the neighbors like this. I have electronic drums, so I can turn the volume down. But after that exercise and relaxation and getting some breakfast on the stove, I actually play the drums most of the time in the morning as much as I possibly can. It's fun. It's enjoyable. It's music, so it still kind of keeps you uplifted and you're kind of pumped up.
This is why you're so happy when I wake up around 11 and shoot you my wellness text of being awake and ready to go.
Yeah.
And you're already so stretch. What do we have? We have stretch. We have cardio. We have a workout. We have music. You are so stimulated in a positive way by 11 a.m. It's wild, man.
Yeah.
Really by 9 a.m.
Yeah,
certainly by 11.
I'm going to make an acronym out of this. Let's see: gratefulness, workout, stretch, and music. Well, there's no vowels in there, so we got to figure it out. But
GRSST, yeah.
But that's the idea. Then when my 8:30 call rolls around, I am like fired up. I'm pumped up, ready to go, man. I mean, it's great. And then, to be honest with you, I get pretty tired later in the day because we get up so early, but it's fine. I'm relaxing, watch some sports, kill some time, hang out with the wife, feed the cat and head to bed. It's a good routine. It really is. So that's a wellness routine. And as far as the dietary stuff, it's been very restricted because of my stomach things going on, my esophageal things going on. But it's been that switch to actually timing, like having specific times that I'm doing things has been great. So that's my wellness routine. Seems to be working pretty well. I'm alive.
Way to go, man. Thank you for sharing that. Cool. It's fantastic, man. You're 2 for 2 today, man. You're batting 1,000.
Well, I'm a little nervous about Founder Jam Fast Speed Round session later.
I'm bringing it today. I got some cool ones for you. Yeah, so let's fire through these next two. You want to do question 3 here?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's fire through.
All right, man. Let's do it. Question 3 is live. We are good to go.
Man.
All right.
We are talking about the number one most valuable thing your team does together. So I've been talking a lot. You tell me.
Yeah, this is a hard one. I think especially we've been remote forever since inception in 2017. Before COVID, obviously, and now kind of getting back to normal, we would meet each other on the coasts where we're located. I think our number one thing that we do and we should do more of is actually celebrating wins. I think this is so important to building positive momentum. We had Mark on weeks ago talking about that, but keeping the camaraderie, that kind of esprit de corps, the culture, and I think it's been very hard throughout COVID to do that, right? So how do you celebrate wins when there's not a restaurant open, there's no nightlife open, there's no travel open? Some places, where I was previously in the Northeast, you couldn't even go out for a hike, right? You could walk around town selectively, depending on where you were. So anything you could think of around celebration was very hard to do with other people. It had to be done by yourself. And we tried the kind of wine Zooms. Our culture, that didn't fit very well. I've heard some great success stories with other teams at companies of all sizes where they kind of do that, happy hour Friday type thing. We tried that. It actually ends up talking about work more than becomes a meeting on a Friday afternoon with some wine. Yeah. So I think though it's so important, man, because we get so caught up in what's next, right? We're in a what have you done for me lately environment. And so taking a moment, an hour to celebrate the wins historically has been so important for us in a performance business. I think people in sales or other types of marketing may feel the same way. So we have to get back to that. But I think that's been our most important. The other stuff, I know people are going to say, what about communicating? What about reviews? Like we do that. We self-review a lot. How are we communicating? How are we working? How do we write emails? We break it down really granular, right? Like we dive into it. What does the office space look like? No, we know that would get you going. So, we do a lot of that, right? But for us, that is work, right? That is the job. So, yeah, that's all important, but that's very obvious, I think. You have to do that every day. So, what's something else, I think? And that's where my mind goes to celebrating wins as being really important, and kind of closing that loop on starting a project, going all the way through it's successful. Okay, how do we end that project? Well, let's end that with a celebration, to reward people for their performance.
I love it, man. I mean, rewarding and teamwork is so important to building a culture in your organization. And I do not care if you only have 2 people in your organization. It's vitally important that you have a culture that speaks to what your organization is trying to do, that lives your mission. And so what y'all are doing is awesome. We need to work on that.
Thank you.
Impact. I think the number one thing that we do right now, and as you all know, it's just the 2 of us, is that we have our Monday morning conversation, and we talk a little bit, a couple minutes about how's life, family, husbands, wives, kids, whatever. Make sure that that's good. We check in, and then we hit the business pretty hard. I may have mentioned this to you before. I don't remember if we got in this conversation, but I think so. I mentioned back, and I always harken back to my days in my old career, which is not that long ago, but we would have these meetings that could drag on and on and on and on. I think it's because there were people. So now we get our Monday morning meeting done in 20 minutes. And that 20 minutes is the most important 20 minutes of the week. It's way important than anything else we do, really, because it's highly productive. It's make decisions quick and fast. We're pumped up. It's Monday morning. We're not tired. We're ready to go, and it's good. So for us, 20 minutes Monday morning, starting at 8:30. That's what we do. Yeah,
and real quick, I'll share something that about meetings and about culture, like something around consistency, right? So I tended in the world of social media. A lot of the employees were 20 to 21 to 30 years old, right? So maybe a younger workforce, and so how do you manage this generation of worker, a certain type of worker, a very creative person, very goal-oriented person in a giant corporation, right? Where they're kind of bucking the trend, right, of all the protocols. And so this is something at first people thought we were nuts, but people have come in and watched and we're actually pretty surprised by it. So we actually would start meetings as people are coming in. The first couple minutes of the meeting, I would play like house music and top 40 music. Most of the time house music, so we didn't get in trouble with any lyric. So kind of in the background, right, in the beginning of the meeting, you have this music coming on that's kind of setting the tone. Is definitely an icebreaker. The big joke was, what am I going to play this week? And everyone would slack me a cool track, that they liked. And almost like when you go to an event, right? Like, so I kind of got this idea, like, how do we focus 15 people with different backgrounds, different belief systems, different skill sets, but for the next hour, we need absolute focus from all 15 people. It's pretty hard, right? When you're looking down a table of, you have this many people that need to be engaged. So we start with music, that gets everybody going. And then the very first 5 minutes is about our successes from the past week. 3. We never do more than 3. There's a whole bunch. We keep a board running so that everyone can see, and this gets an attribution. So if we don't cover it in the meeting, it's on the board. We'll cover it next week. Everybody sees who did it, who hit goal, who had a great idea. It's all actually visible for everyone. We talk about those successes, and then we jump in. And it's amazing how that mechanic makes talking about more challenging things, upcoming projects, workload, challenges, competitors. But all of a sudden, people are in the right mind frame. So I'd say when I was at a company, that was probably the best thing, was our weekly meetings, our weekly team meeting. But in that format, brought everyone together, got the focus, and really took the edge off what we were doing.
I like that. The attribution board, holding people somewhat accountable, but also celebrating all at the same time and making them feel part of the team. Awesome. Now, I would love to have walked into one of those meetings with the house music.
People thought, look, at the beginning, everyone thinks it's wonky, right? So the first 2 times you do it, everyone on your team is like, this is BS, whatever. I don't like house music, okay? By the third meeting, everyone's like, you know what? It's just kind of background, but I'm in a different mood. You know, they couldn't tell you what it was playing or anything like that. And it's not blasting, obviously, but you come together, people are smiling a little bit more. There's 15 people. 2 or 3 of them are going to be having a crap day, right? For whatever reason, commuting, right? Commuting, traffic, a stakeholder's on them about something. I mean, it could be a million things. They didn't like breakfast. Starbucks line too long, right? How many of you have heard that one? Starbucks line was too long. I had to get the other coffee.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be pissed about something at 9 a.m. when you got 15 people. So how do we break that? And so then the feedback literally, man, has been very positive of it just helps the mood in the room.
Now, do people kind of walk in like dancing a little bit?
A little bit, yeah, man, it's fun. Now, granted, these were in San Francisco, you know, this was San Francisco, you know, Santa Monica, New York City. So if you're in other states, maybe it's country music or something a little bit different. This might not work with the C-suite, but what's fascinating is we've actually had people come in like some other ideas, right? We've had people play this kind of a little crazy, but like blooper videos on YouTube, like someone will find a funny blooper video from that week, you know, skateboarding or something. But then some people don't like that. I mean, so it's hard, right? I think it's very hard to manage and bring everyone together.
Whatever works.
But it's whatever works for your team.
But listen, if you like to break it down, the C-suite at Initiate Impact is the place to be. So for all you experienced professional C-suite or suit types who have some rhythm, we're here. We are here. We out here. So anyway, we're hiring. Kind of. Okay, cool. Let's do number 4. All
right, man. Number 4, man. Before we get into the rapid fire round, here we go. Number 4.
What is one habit you've learned while being an entrepreneur? One habit you've learned while being an entrepreneur. Hit me, man.
You need to sleep more. That's my habit.
There you go. Doesn't mean you're executing.
No, sleep. Okay, I would say habit means one habit I think is the speed of communication is really important, but making sure you take a second to think sideways. We call it like to think laterally about what you're about to message back to a client or or a colleague. Especially working across time zones, right? We're big on enabling other people to do their work throughout the day. So if it's 5 p.m. here, but it's 11 a.m. in Australia, they need information so they can have a successful day. So for us, we need to get a response back, but at the same time, the immediate response might not be the best one. And this could be about anything. This isn't about like an issue or anything. This could just simply be about a project or feedback on a creative image or something. But we know our role, our premise is enablement. And so if we can enable other people to be great, that's going to push the business forward. People are going to want to work with us. And that's a key to any relationship, but certainly moving at the type of speed we want. So the habit is fast communications, but they have to be appropriate and well executed.
Fast, but appropriate and well executed. I like it. Like you said, that can apply to a lot of things.
Yeah. Well, the habit is getting into that. The habit is not just firing off something. Okay, okay, I'll get back to you. Well, sometimes I need the answer now, or just let me know you've got it's easy to respond quickly. The habit is taking a minute to digest, to think through it, and then respond. That's the habit.
Okay. My answer to this question is having a really thick filter for when people ask you questions. And
that's a more succinct way of me saying, take a minute to digest.
Yeah. Well, the reason why I say this though is because I'm a helper. I love being involved in projects and helping people out. I love seeing people fulfill their goals. If you look on my personal website, there's a reason why it talks about a personal seeking a fulfillment in your life, because I love to see people find that. I want to see people be fulfilled and enjoy accomplishing their mission. So my natural reaction to most people is, yeah, sure, absolutely. I can be of assistance. Would love to help you, because really, I would love to help you. But I've learned in the past couple months that you cannot say that to everyone,
Right.
because you'll be overwhelmed. Yeah. So I've heard some people say you have to learn how to say no. Well, yes, but I don't like to just say no to people. I don't like to stretch the truth either. I like to be honest. So I've had to come up with this habit of, when people say that, not to just blurt out, sure, but I like to say something along the lines of, I understand what you're doing. I think I may be able to be of assistance at some point, but I just don't have the bandwidth right now. Or I need to talk it over with my colleague to see if that's something that we could take on. And it was really hard to learn how to do that, because I feel like I'm letting people down. But it's so important to not just react. And then you might be the flip side type of person. And this is not critical, but there are some people that just, their first reaction is, I don't want to have anything to do with anyone else. I don't want to get involved.
I wish, man, if I was that way, I'd be out of business. That's
yeah. So if that's you on that side of the spectrum, same concept. Just have a little bit stronger of a filter and say, all right, how can I respond to this more effectively? Or where are some opportunities that I may actually be able to help, because that could be more fulfilling for me. But either way, strong filter when people ask you for something. And the more and more we make connections, I mean, there's thousands of people that we're connected to on social media, Joe, and it's pretty easy on a daily basis. We get asked to do things. And so we have to make sure we're controlling that. It goes back to the calendar stuff too, really. So anyway, make sure that you have a strong filter when people ask you questions. All right. That is tremendous 4 questions. That was a great lineup today, man. Shout out to the copy team, the production staff, and we will definitely cut some of those up and throw them back out on the internet. All right, let's get to rapid fire, man.
All right, we are announcing it right now on Twitter, and this is a great chance for everyone to get involved, respond on any of our platforms, right? And you're eligible for our participation giveaway every week, $50 gift card, Coffee and Motivation Company. So that counts for any of the content we're sharing. We're all about engagement and raising awareness for entrepreneurs everywhere. So, okay, man, we've tweeted out that we're going to launch the contest. And are you ready, man? Are you ready? This week's about habits. I kind of went down a wellness path here. But let me know when you're ready, man, because this is this week. I think we're going to surprise some people. You set the bar high last week. And I think what is the score? You're 2. I'm 2 for 4, I think. No, I'm 0 for 4. You got
1. You got at least 1.
I got 1. I got 1. Okay, I got 1.
I'm 2 for 4. You're 1 for 4.
Got it. Got it. Okay.
Man.
Okay. So, and okay, here we go. Rapid fire round. Question number 1. Founder Jam rapid fire. How many people have a gym membership in the United States?
230 million.
That's a lot of people. That would be 75% of people.
Okay,
that's
never mind.
Too high.
50 million.
Yeah, we're much closer, man. The answer is 45 million people. 45 million people.
Get that right, but for some reason I thought a lot more people had a membership.
Yeah. I thought it would have been maybe like 100, but that's a lot, man. Right? That's a lot of people. Like, think about that. It's 100 million
maybe
people.
They need a better wellness routine.
I think we should get 100 million people watching Founder Jam and motivate everyone.
Let's do it.
To do it. All right. Question number 2, man. What percentage of Americans have meditated at least once?
65.
Oh, 65%? Is that your final answer?
Yeah, it's rapid fire. I'm trying to give you a rapid answer, bro. I don't want to.
Answer is 14%.
What?
Only 14% of Americans
Now,
Yeah.
what is this, Family Feud? Where are we getting these statistics?
I'll admit I was Googling the heck out of these, but they were pretty legitimate sources,
At
either
least once?
Google or National Institute of something.
Oh, National Institute this. All right, whatever.
No, look, I'm doing the math right now, man. That the 14% of 330-ish million people, that's 46 million people, man. That's a lot of people.
I admit that my first,
46 million people. Yeah, that's a lot.
People, you should be meditating or praying or contemplating or doing something internal. Anyway.
Yes, I think prayer might have changed the numbers for sure. That's a good point.
Yeah, I guess maybe I thought that was kind of related. All right, whatever. Let's do it.
All right, we're getting some good traction here on Twitter. People liking, picking up some of our questions. Okay, and question number 3 for Bob DiPasquale. 0 for 2 today is
like how you stuck that in.
Live positive affirmation. Now we're just trying to build you up. Question number 3: how many self-help books were sold in 2019? And I believe this stat is globally, but how many self-help books were sold in 2019?
Individual copies of all the books, or like just the books?
Copies, and I'm assuming this includes downloads.
Oh, okay. 500
but the self-help category specifically.
Oh, okay. 250 million.
How many people do you think are on this planet? Like, there's a lot of people on this planet, but that's a really big number, dude. It's 250 million. That's a huge number.
All right, it's 100 million.
You're not even in the ballpark, man. The answer is 18.6 million.
What, do people not want help?
Now,
I don't know. Maybe I'm too in that world now. I'm really in that world of reading books like that. So
it's still a lot, man. That's a lot of self-help books. That's a lot of self-help books. I'm trying to give you
a chance to catch up next week. That's all.
Okay, here we go. All right, next question is 0 for 3, not even in the ballpark. So this one, I tried to help you a little bit, okay? Question number 3. In 2015, there were 50,000 journaling units. So you know those journals where you write down your goals, your daily, like not a planner, but a journal, right? So 50,000 units sold in the US 2015. According to an industry trade group, how many were sold in 2019? 50,000 in 2015. How many in 2019?
85,000.
No.
Am I close?
Do you want? You're not even like. I'm disappointed. Maybe you need to change your morning routine.
It's too late in the day for me. What's the answer?
The answer is 700,000. 700,000.
You went from 50,000 to 700?
Yep, to 700 in about 3 years. Yep.
Okay, people, you're journaling too much and reading self-help books too little. The reason why you need help is because you need someone else to tell you what to do. Journaling is good, but you got to learn from other people. My wife does this for a living. She teaches other people. If all her students just journaled all day, she wouldn't have a job.
All right, last question.
Oh, we have another one.
Last question. No, here's a bonus question, right? So this was a bit hard because of COVID to find some stats here, but on the physical, the wellness side, right? Massage therapy, reflexology, all these different types of physical treatments from 2018 to 2019. How many adults in America attended at least one massage session?
7.
Well, I think like there's tons of massage envies, right? I mean, that's a huge franchise now.
Right.
People are more into wellness now than ever before. The industry's booming, especially post-COVID.
150,000.
45 million people.
45 million. I hate
So
massage.
18 million self-help books sold in 2019, but 45 million unique people. So 45 million, not total sessions, but 45 million people attended at least one massage session. It's pretty
So
wild, right?
people like being touched more than they like reading.
Sure. According to the statistics.
So now, so does that mean if you're a young burgeoning entrepreneur, do you want to open up a publishing company or a massage parlor?
Well, there's a lot that goes into that. Real estate, insurance, personnel. We could go on and on.
Okay, that's for a later episode. All right. Man, we got 50 minutes in the books already. This has been a high energy episode, bro. So
yeah, this was good. I can't wait for some of the cut-ups. You gave some great advice on inbox management, but I think inbox management is really the wrong way to look at it. It's really like business management, right?
Yeah.
I mean, because everything's so digital. It's not email. It is way bigger than that, way more significant than that. And we're going to have to jam on this later, man, because I want some tips and tricks on how to organize things a little bit better myself.
Sweet, man. I need to, and I'm going to look up your ways of starting meetings so I can get excited with some house music and pump.
Yeah, I say you just blast some, Diplo when you have your Monday meeting with Stacy and see how it goes.
I was thinking some seal or something. Anyway, all right. Shout out to Coffee Motivation Co. like we always do. I want to make sure we give them a shout again because people are liking their products. So, Joe, I appreciate you showing me them at one point, and let's make sure that people support that organization as they continue to support Founder Jam.
Yep, really appreciate it. Check out their stuff. Join their email list. Again, no comp on our side. Full disclosure, just really cool. We think they have some great products, and it's some good motivation delivered into your inbox. No matter how you have your inbox labeled every day, it's some good stuff. Always cool to get some positive words first thing in the morning. So yeah, really cool team over there. We appreciate them, and I appreciate you, man. This was a great session.
Yeah,
and
man, this has been great.
I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited for the next one too. I think we're gonna get some guests back on. We'll get the guest line going again and keep it moving, man. This was great.
Next week, Founder Jam 15, ladies and gentlemen. Founder Jam 15 already. Sounds pretty cool. All right, bro. Have a great week, everyone. Be productive this weekend. Get those inboxes in order. Stay motivated. We'll see you next week.